Howdy everyone, y'all know Voltage, and well, it's time for another Dead by Daylight video. And this is actually another AZHYMOVS video, where he is actually ranking all the Moris of Dead by Daylight himself. And this is actually one from, let's see, only 9 days ago, so these are actually pretty recent picks from him as well. And, well, I made my ranking, so I want to see how he ranks his, and see if we have similar thoughts, which honestly, most likely we won't. But let's see what happens.
We're ranking every killer Mori in Dead by Daylight. We're including all the available Moris for...
Oh, so you're including all the cosmetic ones? Okay. Makes sense, honestly, since it's really fair.
Video, including alternate Moris, quick Moris, and cosmetic.
So the quick Moris mean like the drag down kills for frickin' Vecna.
To kick us off, Trapper has a particular
like yep, Dead Last Trapper. Yeah, it's just a bad Mori. It really is.
And lacking in any story or meaning. He's just slashing away, with the foot down being the only interesting touch, really. Billy follows suit with essentially the same Mori, except with a chainsaw. Instead of slashing away, he plunges his chainsaw down. It's a bit more effective.
Let me check the list quickly. Let me just check my list. This checks out. It most certainly checks out for the last two kills because I put Billy and Trapper both as the worst two. Wraith should be next then. Yep, Wraith. Yeah, because these three are all pretty bad, honestly. The next at this, I actually put Sadako myself.
It's still fairly boring, but that's a nice touch, I think. Okay, Moris. Skull Merchant has quite an underwhelming Mori.
Yeah, I put Skull Merchant at 39th out of 44, so that was actually pretty low as well.
With the survivor seeming confused to her whereabouts despite just being downed by her, it's really odd.
You know what? Yep, that's a good ranking for Skull Merchant because it is pretty shit.
Something, but it's flawed. Twins with no Victor.
With no Victor,
brutal,
you
just not
see.
really interesting or engaging in any
Yeah, with no Victor, I'd put that actually 32nd myself, so... No, honestly, not a bad ranking.
With the final pull-up being the most impactful moment. It pales in comparison to her Mori with Victor. Sadako Condemned is a Mori that is quite iconic, yet also very...
Sadako was 41st, I mean, honestly, it's just bad.
Not too much interaction. That eye, though, is very iconic,
so very creepy.
To at least be in a solid okay. There's something spine-chilling, too, about the survivor clutching their heart. Pig is often found disappointing, as she doesn't use
really?
Power, really.
Where's my ranking?
Goes for a slash,
I put Pig 21st. I really don't think it's a bad Mori.
This may even be purposeful on Amanda's part to try and remind Tap of what happened. It is visually very simple, but there's a harsh brutality to it. I do think a trap version could be interesting to add.
Yeah, honestly, she really should use her power and just like put a trap in there and they go splitting their head open.
Twins with Victor is a bit more effective in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll accept that, honestly. Like, this one for me, this was 30th in my list. This Mori was 30th out of 44.
It's his turn to attack. It's a great use of their pairing and different methods of attack too. Vecna Reclaim is doable after two...
Just a simple, quick, efficient Mori, but this is not the one I rated because I rated his regular one 10th.
With these purple spikes,
where he just tears the entire skin off the person.
The survivor, and then the skeletons pulling the survivor into them. I do like that touch and the skeleton involvement, which makes it a bit more dynamic. It shows off additional Vecna powers too, which is...
What's next then?
Pyramid Head Tormented is a quick finisher.
That's not the Mori I rated, but it is just quick and efficient, one quick sword slash.
Very fitting for Pyramid Head. A swift slam down with this huge sword feels very fitting.
I ranked his real Mori.
The Executioner. Spirit's Mori has her slash away with her
Spirit, where did I even put her? Spirit was 34th on my list, so just mediocre.
Beyond it being an angry, rage-fueled attack, and even more if you consider that she sees the survivors as her father. With all this said, though, I do find the visuals a bit lacking, and
Rin Yamaoka was in the lore, killed by her father in the lore, so yeah, I guess it makes sense.
For its unique approach and how he seems
I put Blight 38, so yeah, I agree that this does deserve to be low, like where it is on this thing. Because it isn't good, it just is not.
Revealing the horrors of the serum and its effects. Huntress's is brutally efficient, with her just slamming down,
this low? Where the hell did I put Huntress? Oh, I put it 24th, wow.
Reach for the axe and pull it out.
I kind of feel bad for Huntress.
For sure. Freddy has a pretty simple Mori, which makes reference to a kill in the 2010 remake.
Simple and effective. He gets the job done, you can say that.
Behind the survivor, creeping up and plunging his hand through. It's
Where is his
little
on my list?
over the
26th.
top, but it's a solid reference and Mori for a character which otherwise feels quite neglected in DBD. Dracula I find to have sort of an interesting Mori. It begins with the bats distracting, then Dracula
really this low? I'd put Dracula 11.
Basic, but it feels like the
this
accurate way
is
Dracula
one of the most lowest ranks I've seen on this for a Mori that's honestly pretty good.
His disgust of humans
And
is
lore
very
accurate.
present, and whilst I like this Mori, I feel like it's missing some
Domino's best deal.
Humans is very
Let's
present,
continue.
and whilst I like this Mori, I feel like it's missing some oomph. Plague treats her Mori a bit ritualistically. With
I
her
put
knocking
Plague
the survivor
40th, so
down
this is a
and
lot higher
leaving
than I
charred.
rated it,
She then
by
breaks
quite a
them
large
and
margin.
simply floods them with vomit. It's pretty horrific and does fit
Yeah,
her
it's
very
just
well.
really
Similar to
disgusting.
some others, it doesn't have much brutality, but it is incredibly freaky and disturbing. The attack part is maybe a bit too short, though, to be a real finisher. Doctor has a unique approach to his Mori, with him not even using a supercharging his shock
This
power,
was my
but
original
rather
main in the
stands
game,
for
and it's,
unleashing it all.
well,
It's
I
nice
will
to
just
have
say
a
that I
different
put him
approach, but it is
33rd.
still very freaky, especially with the smoke
It
rising
got
off the
old for
survivor
me and
at the end.
stale.
Artist has a weird Mori as
Artist,
Mori's
I actually put them
code.
36 on my
Allows
Mori's
the
list.
crow into the
How is
survivor's
Myers
mouth
still on
only
his
for it to
list?
be
Myers
sort
has
of
a terrible
birthed
Mori.
out
It's
of
so
their
simple.
stomach. I'm not sure either. It does fit her though, and her movement during this is also pretty freaky, honestly. I do like just how disturbing this one is, although far less brutal than most. An acquired taste. Terrifying Moris.
Okay, we're getting to
Wesker
the...
I like for the fact that the survivors
Yes!
fight back.
Wesker!
I always
Wait,
like
Willie,
the
this is
ones that
low
do
down?
this, it
Seriously?
really amps up the lack
I'd
of
put
rules
Wesker, let
the
me
entities
see,
impose
4.
whilst this occurs. The survivor punches
This
his
is
glasses
surprisingly
off, we see those
low.
red eyes light up,
Because
and then
it's
his
such a
tentacles
good
burst
Mori.
from their
It really
mouth.
is.
It's very fitting for Wesker, and whilst fairly simple, I like the setup especially. Springtrap has a pretty solid Mori, incorporating a whole other
I'd put
contraption
this
as part of it.
5th.
This endoskeleton type suit appearing, or
Which,
I always forget
now
the
that I
name
see
of it,
that,
and I always get corrected in the comments.
I
I'm
might
sure
actually say it actually belongs
Let me know what this is.
6th, because Dracula's True Form Mori is still better than this
It's
one.
not that visually effective though, I will say, with the contraption just being a load of saws. I do like the goofy ending though, with him screaming at the survivor. Definitely unique too. Glitch Trap I'll place just after him too, with it being the
Wait,
same Mori,
Glitch-
except with a different ending, with Glitch Trap shushing instead. I
You know
much
what,
prefer
the-
this, and I think it's far creepier and eerier.
Seems
Sends a
pretty
chill down
pretty
the spine.
realistic, honestly. Like, that
Bubba
kind of
has a
matches
very
Glitch Trap.
brutal Mori, with him having a
Really?
series
Putting
of
Bubba
rough
this
but
high?
simple
Where did I put
movements,
Bubba?
stunning then soaring. This one is honestly one of the most
I put Bubba
shocking.
23rd. No, this
I remember
actually
this
is
being one of
semi-reasonable,
the
I guess.
first Moris I ever saw, maybe the first, and I was so taken aback.
The first
when I
Mori I
did
ever
see
saw
it.
was
I didn't
freaking
even know what a Mori
not
was
Huntress,
back then,
was
and this one
Spirit,
really set the tone, I think.
because
I
her
remember
perk
getting down,
Rancor.
waiting to be hooked, and I was like, oh wait, he's just killing me. Trickster has a very egotistical Mori with
This
showing
is
off
a good
his blade
Mori.
skills before
This,
throwing
in
down
my
a
list,
signed
let's see where it
photo, which
was.
is soon
12th.
pierced by a blade.
That's a respectable
He also
placement
says
for this kind of
thank you,
Mori.
with the whole thing feeling like a big performance. It's very well done for him, and sort of tells you
Honestly, it really
everything you need
matched
to know,
Trickster's
characterizing
ego.
him perfectly. Nurse obviously has one of the most unique approaches for the early day Moris. She doesn't use a weapon at all.
Hey, it's a good
hands,
Mori
and
for
it's this
early
really
game.
intimate almost Mori.
Because
She
this
gets
had gotten
super close to
22nd
the
on my list.
survivors and then
Just
closes
midway in the
them out.
list.
It's quite shocking and shows off a humanity present within, yet a horrible
Which is
brutality
actually what
too.
midway in his list
It
as well,
gets
then.
unique points for sure. Singularity has quite a clinical Mori with
Singularity,
him
I
eating
put the
survivor
Singularity
and
for me
inserting some kind of
was
liquid. It's maybe
16th.
acid or something, as what happens after sort of infers it couldn't be anything good. It's maybe
Yeah.
a DNA extracting liquid of some kind. Maybe he removes some genes which causes this. I don't know. It's horrible though. Nemesis has a rather brutal stomp and
Really, Nemesis is this
core of
high
his
in your
Mori.
list. I
There's an
put
efficient
Nemesis
brutality about this
29th, so
one.
yeah,
That
I
makes
didn't
me
like his
think he
Mori
regrets not
much,
doing this
because it's
during
just
RE3
too simple.
to jail all those times he got a chance to. This time he's just brutal and efficient, and it's
just
horrifying.
too simple for a
Mori
Mori,
is a
honestly.
brutal encapsulator
That
of
was
him
3rd on my
just
list.
using
This is the
anything
3rd best
his
Mori in my
arsenal,
opinion,
his
because
anger, slamming his blade,
it's so
grabbing the
brutal.
tongue and squishing it, just like he did to that lord, before just pounding down. Yeah,
He's just having a field day.
but does fit him well regardless, and shows off his true power. It's an unpleasant watch though. Demogorgon shows off its power in its
Really,
Mori,
I put
and it
Demo
feels sort of
9th.
like it's just tossing around
And there's
a
like
toy in some
15
moments,
left on your list.
just wrapping wrapping the survivor up and swinging side to side like an excited dog. Very fitting, but brutal.
Interesting placement.
Midas has one of the clearest power dynamics in Mori, with him easily lifting the survivor
Yeah.
from the floor, staring them in the eyes, then plunging his blade in with his
I'll
cold
accept
eyes
that, but I
staring
still
down at them as
don't
they
think it's a good
bash
Mori
away.
because
I
it
do
had
like how the
gotten
survivor fights back too, and there's
35th for me.
resistance. This really adds to just the horror of it, really.
I've actually
Naughty
noticed.
Bear has a Mori, which is one everyone basically wanted for Trapper for quite some time.
Really, this
Fits
low
Naughty
for
very
Naughty
well,
Bear.
though, and does fit the sillier animation
Naughty Bear had got
style of
7th
him
for
over
me
Trapper, with him sort of
because it's
tossing the
a
survivor
good
toward the
Mori.
bear trap. Naughty's grin as well is also
The
great.
Unknown is still on his list when I got it
Crafty Mori
37 for
for
me,
sure, and a good
and
use
Pyramid
of
Head
power.
is 31st on my list, but still in his.
Moris. Pyramid Head has a very
There we go.
Mori, with him lifting the survivors up and wrapping them in metal.
The
It's great
chain,
scene he makes
and then
before plunging and twisting his blade.
simple
I do like
and
how he
effective.
treats it all like an executioner would. Very effective. Deathslinger has a Mori which shows
Slinger,
just how
I
much
put him
pent-up
20th.
anger this man
Kaneki is
has.
still
He
in.
lifts up the
Pinhead,
survivor with his
Hag,
spade gun before firing it out. It's pretty
Unknown,
horrifying and
Xeno,
over the top, but
Dredge,
kind of a believable
Werewolf,
thing for him to do. It also just shows off the versatility of the spin.
Chucky,
honestly.
Clown, Houndmaster.
Brutal. Xenomorph has one of the most
There's Xeno.
cinematic Moris, with it lifting the
The
survivor
Knight
up
is still in.
before facing
Dracula
it
True
down
Form.
and plunging its
Ghostface,
small
and
mouth
also
into
Legion
them.
is still in as
It's
well
also a
for
little
him.
reference to an alien scene. It's very effective, I think.
And Vecna.
The cinematic, slow, thoughtful movements do add a lot to it. Clown has one of the creepier Moris, and largely down to the sounds
does.
and simple brutality of it. The way
Three
he
stomps
stamps
and-
down repeatedly is fitting for this.
And then just
heavy,
cuts the
indulgent
finger off and
killer,
adds it to his
repeating
collection
it
after
until
going.
he hears a and then taking a finger. Extremely fitting for Clown, and one of the more
Why did I
spine-chilling
do that? That was
watches.
just that's just something
Knight is a very
disturbing.
over-the-top tag team Mori.
Yeah,
where
this
Knight
is very
watches
over the
on
top. I
as his
agree.
guards each take their turn to attack before Knight does the ending blow. I do think whilst this is a little too much, it is effective.
8th place for me, so yeah, it is a good Mori. I really do admit it is a good Mori.
Acting as a warden almost, looking on approvingly before finishing it. Kaneki's Mori is quite reminiscent of his devouring of Jason.
It's
I really
good,
like
but
the
I
use of the
hate
Kune
it.
in this one, and how
Because
it's so
I've been
quick
bored by
and
this like
snappy
7
and
times so
slow.
far in the
It
past
also
week
really shows off
alone.
Kaneki's true power. The
So yeah, I've been
finger
ripped
snap at the
apart
end is a
quite a few
really nice touch
times.
too. Brutal and efficient. Werelk is another quite over-the-top one, with it seeming to reference how Anna's mother
Very.
died, with Anna now recreating it in Werelk form. It's pretty horrific. The axe slam similar to her base
I don't
Mori,
like this Mori,
but
I
then
just don't.
the
It's just
insane tossing of the survivor
stupid.
onto its antlers and being spun around is
It really is
crazy.
just
It's a very
stupid.
cinematic Mori too, with the mid part having this anticipation as the Werelk just breathes on the survivor. Chucky has a use everything I can.
Good Mori,
approach to his
14th for
as
me.
He throws a hammer, slams with a baseball bat,
Hammer,
then a ruler,
bat,
then a knife.
ruler.
For such a tiny guy, he has deep pockets. It does show off Chucky's intense brutality, though.
Yeah,
despite
he's
his
got a
size,
lot of stuff
and
in his
this fits
pockets
him
for
well.
some reason.
It's also loaded with references to previous moments in the Chucky films. I think it's very well done.
Maybe I should know that.
Dracula True Form is one of the most over-the-top Moris.
This
Not sure if it's a good
is a
thing.
good
It does
Mori.
feel a bit excessive, but it's also very cinematic and visually horrifying, so still pretty high for me. All of these little mouths
And then he's holding the
things,
rib,
each being
their
articulated
spine
and
in his
is very
hands and throws it to the
visually
ground
disturbing.
afterwards.
Disturbing Moris. Houndmaster has a horrible Mori in my
Yeah.
opinion, which pairs together Snug's initial attack with her horribly
Out of my
brutal
sight,
stomp,
thou
which leaves
dost
behind
infect
quite a
mine
mark.
eyes.
This Mori is made even worse by her voice lines, which mock the survivors individually as she does what she does. It fits her so well and is really just horrifying all round.
She
seeing the
has a thing
survivor
called
struggle.
No
One
Mercy.
thing I've always liked the Mori of, because once again it shows us we really don't know what
How is
Anthem
this thing in the
It's another,
most?
whoa,
Yeah, this is in the top
that, I really like
like
that, with
10.
it being sort of a curveball. The Mori itself is
I
also very
disagree with this by a
horrifying,
mile.
and
I
plunging
disagree
its
with this
tentacles
position.
into the survivors'
It is far too
face
high.
holes. Ugh. Vecna has a very brutal Mori, which once
This.
again incorporates
I
his
can get by it
skeletons,
because I had a
shows
10th.
off his power
This
to
I agree
almost
with.
an excessive
It's a
degree,
good Mori.
with him raising the survivor up to him and just stripping them of everything. It's really horrible. I don't think I can show it, but all that remains is a skeleton to join the rest. Really disgusting. Legion has a great Mori, with it being so scrappy.
There we go.
Fight back and keep
This
them away.
was
Really well
second
done.
place in my
This
Mori
being
because
the
it's
clearest
so
case of
good.
size difference
These
being
survivors are
very
fighting
little.
back, and
Feels like a scuffle with Legion
it's
eventually
like an
fighting back
actual
with
fight going on.
brutality commencing. Sadako's base Mori is incredibly impactful. It's really horrible
Really?
to look at, and mainly
41st
due to the
for me,
snapping parts.
and it
Horrific
made it
sounds,
to
really horrible
this
visuals,
high?
and just very spine-chilling seeing her unleash her power like this as she simply stands hunched over before
I
them.
disagree.
Her only movement performance being small head tilts. The ending of the eye as well is of course very effective
Iconic
and
as well.
iconic. Pinhead has a very creepy Mori, with it being one of few where we don't see what happens to the
Chains
survivor,
of
with him
hatred.
instead plunging into a blue
That looks
portal and
painful.
presumably the labyrinth. It's a
I
shocking
haven't
sight,
watched
and
the
the look
Hellraiser
of the
movies.
chains grabbing,
I've
pulling,
considered
and
it,
binding them
but
to
most
a
likely I
pallet
never
is
will,
just
honestly.
so freaky, very fitting for him. Ghostface
So
is
don't know
a
a lot about that.
classic good one, and one of the
Really?
fan
So the
favorite
Dredge
Maris,
is
with
higher
Ghosty
than this,
taking a photo as the
as is the
survivor slowly
Hag.
holds on. It is very character fitting,
I
though,
think
and
only the Dredge
feels
and Hag are
quite
left,
unique
actually.
as Maris go, with how silly
Yeah,
yet brutal and
Dredge and Hag are
scary
left
it
only,
is.
besides this one, I think.
Dredge has a really great
Yeah,
and one of the creepiest Maris in the game,
I'll accept
with
this,
its
even though
stroke
I had
pinning
put
the
it
survivor with all its
27th,
tendrils
because
before
I just don't really
absorbing
care
them.
about it
The
much.
final shot of the survivor
I've
going
been hit by
in
this Mori
is
far too many
beyond
times to like it
disturbing.
too much.
What horrors are they going to face? However, Hag has maybe the most horrifying Mori.
Okay, so this was number one for you. You know what? I'll accept it, because this is a good Mori. It's very, very good.
With her doing the same thing her captors did to her. She's animalistic during it, going for the neck.
Good Mori
pushing
there,
her
honestly.
face down as she feasts and they struggle. It's beyond blah, blah, blah.
Well, honestly, AZHYMOVS has some decent opinions. Some less so. Sadako being top 5, I kind of hate that. And Dredge being second, because I just don't like that Mori, but, you know, I'll go with it. Bye-bye.